before spring break. I think we were in like week 26 of school, and we were on week 20 in vocabulary. So this week we are starting back with vocab. We have a couple more weeks that we'll work on vocabulary, and we are in week 21, and this is day 1. The first word we're going to look at today is the word proficient. Proficient means skillful or able to do something well. So a synonym for proficient is the word skillful. Here's a real life example. We have professionals like pilots, firefighters, and police officers can use video games called simulation programs to practice important job skills to become more proficient or skillful at their jobs. So again, proficient. We know that all of us are proficient or skillful at doing certain things. You may be proficient at soccer, or maybe you're a proficient football player. Maybe you are proficient at speaking another language. Right now, if you have someone next to you, I want you to turn and talk or think to yourself. I want you to think about something that you are proficient at. You can use this sentence frame to complete your thought. Let's take a look at the next word that we're going to talk about today. That word is engage. I'm sure you've heard this word used before. We're going to talk about the different meanings of the word engage. The first definition of the word engage refers to taking part in or doing something. There is somewhat of a concern that some people who play video games may engage in or take part in dangerous behavior in real life because they engage in dangerous behavior as part of playing the games. So that's just one example of the word engage being used. All of us enjoy engaging or taking part in fun or relaxing activities on the weekend. I want you to think of an activity that you enjoy engaging in on the weekend. If you have someone next to you, you can turn and talk or think to yourself. Okay, so we know that we said this is a multiple meaning word, meaning it had more than one definition. So far we've reviewed the first definition, which means to take part in or to do something or engage in like an activity. What else do you know about the word engage? What does it mean when two people are engaged? So this is probably the reference that you have heard before or are referring to. Engage can also mean a promise to marry someone. Engage can also refer to getting and holding someone's interest or attention. In this cartoon, you can see that it looks like a teacher, and she's engaging the students in this text. I can spend hours engaged in a good book. What is something that engages you or holds your interest and attention? The last word that we're going to talk about today is the word hinder. Hinder can refer to getting in the way of or making it difficult for someone to do something. Let's look at the first example here. Some teachers worry that playing video games at home hinders or gets in the way of student schoolwork. Others believe that playing video games may hinder students from thinking imaginatively. We're going to play a quick game called Will It Hinder Milton? Let's look at the first example. Milton wants to make a sandwich. He goes into the kitchen and discovers that there's only one piece of bread. Will having only one piece of bread hinder Milton from making a sandwich? If you have someone next to you, you can turn and talk or think to yourself. Let's look at the second example. Milton wants to go to his friend Abe's costume party, but Milton does not have a costume. Will not having a costume hinder Milton from going to the party? And let's look at the last example. Milton runs to the garage to get his bike so that he can go on a bike ride with his friends. He has a flat tire. Will having a flat tire hinder Milton from joining his friends? Okay. The last thing that we want to do, remember, when you hear or you read a word that has more than one meaning, you can usually figure out the correct meaning by thinking about how it's used in the text. So let's go back and quickly revisit the word engage. We know it has three meanings: to take part in or do something, a promise to marry someone, or to get and hold someone's interest or attention. Look at this first example. I want you to think, what is the correct meaning? The baby is crying and fussing. Lucy engages the baby by shaking a rattle and making silly faces. The baby stops fussing and begins to laugh. Which definition are we referring to? Number 1, 2, or 3? Right, if we're engaging Lucy by shaking a rattle and making silly faces, then we're trying to get or hold her attention. So this would be definition number 3. What about this one? Andrew engages in different sports throughout the year. During the winter, his favorite is ice hockey because he loves to skate. Is that referring to definition number 1, 2, or 3? Right, in this example, he's taking part in playing ice hockey. So this would be example or definition number 1. Now let's look at the last one. Letitia bursts through the door shouting, "Mom, Mom, look at the ring Tyrell gave me. We're engaged." Which definition is this referring to? Number 1, 2, or 3? Excellent. Great job today, guys. I'll see you back tomorrow for day 2.